What's up, guys? It's another day with this guy, and I'm doing more work to the fire truck. Today, I'm going to be installing the fuel tank, and then I'm going to be rebuilding this, and I've been working on the drive shaft. Hopefully I can get the drive shaft in today, and then the drive shaft will be done. So I appreciate you guys for always watching, subscribing, liking, and everything. This build is coming along good. I'm hoping to have this truck drivable and done by July. I'm solely focused on this truck, and it's coming out really good. So keep watching. I hope you guys like this episode. It's gonna be good. So I found out a couple cool things about this fuel tank. It was actually manufactured in 1986. So this thing's probably got a lot of miles on it, but it's in pretty good condition. It's got one little dent, and I'm painting it anyways. It doesn't have to be all shiny and So I'm gonna be mounting it right here on the truck. It's a 100-gallon fuel tank, and there was a couple bolts stuck into the mounts here. I got those out. So now I just got to get old girl Maggie, the mag drill, and measure all the holes. It's got 2, 4, 6, 8. Wow, I can't believe I counted that high. And I got to drill 8 holes into the frame, mount it up, and then I'm going to leave the brackets on, but then I'm going to take the tank off. I got everything measured out for the brackets for the fuel tank. Took all my measurements. I got the center punches. Got to drill the 8 holes, and I'll use a mag drill. I got them drilled out. Pretty easy. It's gonna be kind of an easy day today. I'd also like to do a special shout out to my friend Billy up in my firehouse. He donated grinding discs and cutting discs for this project, so I really appreciate it. I told him I'd do a shout out for him, so here you are, Billy. This video is for you. Appreciate it. I'll show you guys how Maggie works. Just a fun fact, Maggie was actually born in, where does it say? 1981. They don't make them like they used to. She's a good girl. So I drilled out the other 7 holes. This is a plug drill bit, so it drills a plug, and it's a one-shot. You don't have to pilot hole, drill multiple drill bits to get to that size. I'll show you how it works. So you line up the little center pin on the hole that you want to drill, and the center punch. Turn the magnet on, and look at that. It is sideways, and I am not supporting it at all. The magnet is doing all the work. So now what you do is you get it pretty close. You can do slight adjustments with the hammer, and you can see, look, the hammer gets stuck to the magnet. It's kind of funny. Slight adjustments. It's right in the center. Do a quick test. I'm gonna make sure I hold it, because sometimes if you turn it on, the magnet will drop off. It means it wasn't set properly. A good test. I'm gonna give some Crazy Larry's Secret Lube. This stuff is the best. Very expensive, but it is the best stuff that you can use for drilling. Slap a little lube on there and drill. That's it. What was that, like 20 seconds it drilled? It's perfect. And this is what's left of the plug drill that pops out the back. It's kind of cool. I love this drill bit. It works perfect for frames. Even if you're doing stuff upside down, you get it in place, you hit the magnet, boom, you're good to drill. You don't have to hold the drill bit. You don't know if you're, this thing is great. Never touch this. Always grab. Oh boy. Yeah, there's stories where people grab this, they accidentally hit the wrong switch, and it breaks their wrist, it rips their fingers off. Yeah, don't do that. Clean off the shavings, and you're good to go for the next hole. But I did all of them already, so that's it. So here we have the 8 holes drilled. I gotta go get some hardware up at the hardware store, and I'll be able to bolt it on, so I'll be back. The fuel tank is in. Only got 2 bolts just kind of holding it in place right now. That was a pain in the butt. My mom came over and helped me get the one of the nuts in, so I was able to lift this thing up. But that's pretty much where it's gonna sit. Looks pretty good where it's at. Not bad. I like it. Ooh. I think sweet. I don't know if I'm gonna keep the steps or not. I got to see when I get the bed on if the steps are even going to be usable, or if it looks good with the bed. So in the last video I explained how all this footage had disappeared, and one of the things that I was doing is putting in the drive shafts. So most of the drive shaft is in. It's a 3-piece drive shaft, and I had to get one custom made. I made this bracket myself, the hanger, and this piece actually came out of the Kenworth T800 that I got the rear out of. Bolted that in, went to the driveline shop. He made me this drive shaft. I made that hanger. So everything is all bolted up, good to go now, nice and smooth. And then the drive shaft that had the slip yoke from the fire truck just bolts to there and to there. But I needed little brackets. So the drive shaft is pretty much done, except for the 2 little brackets. So that's what happened last week. Just want to show you guys the progress on that. I'll get the tank kind of temporary rigged up so I can use the fuel from that and get the truck running again. I ran it for like 5 seconds yesterday, started right up, just want to make sure that it runs. I guess it was using the fuel from the fuel filter. So hopefully we get this thing rolling soon. You know, the back is getting done faster than I thought. I like it. Check out this 5th wheel hitch though. Oh man, that looks good. You know, if you guys didn't see the last video, I made this whole hitch plate, and there's actually a gooseneck hitch under here, and then this 5th wheel hitch actually drops into the gooseneck hitch. So I could have a gooseneck, or I can have a 5th wheel. It's all integrated. It's gonna be integrated with the bed and everything. You'll see how it's gonna work. I got the whole design in my brain, and it's never been done before as far as I know. So I'm hoping that once this truck is done, I get on the front of some magazines, or I can be featured on some shows or something that would help me out greatly. I don't know, we'll see. 2 more months and this truck will be done. And I've been doing most of the work by myself. Couple extra hands here and there. My dad, my mom actually comes out and helps every once in a while. Nick's been helping me, so it's coming out great. Now I'm working on the front locking frame for the bed. I'm rebuilding this part here. I got the wood, I got the cross. I'm actually gonna reuse this cross member. I'm gonna reuse those 2 slide pieces. You'll see when it's all put together. I got the frame put together over here already. So now what I have to do is cut this piece out and make it fit into that new frame. Well, I was gonna use this cross bracket. I was gonna reuse it. I cut the ends off, and this massive pile of rust came out of it, and I realized it's I don't know if you can see it, it's pretty corroded and rotten in there. So I'm gonna reuse these pieces, but I'm gonna make my own tube or some kind of bracket in here. So I'm gonna cut these off. So I did reuse these brackets. I made these little 3¼ inch long tubes. I didn't have to go all the way across because I already got this in here. And this bracket is actually gonna be a cross member for the frame as well. So it's all gonna kind of tie in together. But this is the idea that I came up with. It didn't need to be super strong. It's just more of like a bed holder. It's not having a lot of weight on it. So that should work good. Now I just gotta tack it in. Getting pretty good. Everything's at the right height. I just gotta put the wood on here. That'll be like the slide rail. The locks are in and everything. So I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make, you know, those like side brackets. I think I'm gonna integrate them and use the same holes that I have for the fuel tank. And the fuel tank will just stick out another 3/8. And I'll just copy it on the other side. And then whatever the toolbox does on that side, I'll have to work around it. But I think that's what I'm gonna go with. So I'll make those. Another day in paradise in Gallery Garage. You know, it's another day. It's a long project. In my mind, it was like a month, maybe 2 to be finished. You know, only cost, you know, so much money, over budget already. And I'm like, when did I start? January? Yeah, I'm like 6 months into this project, or almost 6 months into this project. So it's getting there. 2 more months and this thing should be done. So let it rip, tater chip. These are the old side slide brackets, and then the old pistons used to hook into them. But obviously I'm not putting the other pistons in. So I'm gonna cut it off right here. And I'm actually gonna notch this little piece out. And then the 4 holes are gonna go somewhere in here that bolt up against the fuel tank. And this part gets welded onto the slide frame that I just made now. So I'll weld this on, I'll chop all this out, and I did the same for this one. I marked it up and everything. Ooh, look at that shadow. Shadow's ugly. Yeah, same thing. Just cut it there, notch that out, drill 4 holes in it. I'll probably fill in these old holes. And pretty much like the only couple pieces besides the hydraulics that I've actually used from this under frame is these brackets and then the top 2 pieces here, because every time I went to go reuse something, it was either really rusty, it was way out of whack, the measurements did not match up to what I need. So it pretty much rebuilt the entire thing. So now this is what we got going on. I utilized the 4 holes that we had for the fuel tank. I took the fuel tank off. So I cut out this bracket on the plasma table, and it gets bolted here with 4 holes for the fuel tank. And in the front is the alignment slide bracket. And I used that old one. I cut the angle out of it, made it nice, and I got the 4 holes for the same as the fuel tank. So now I just gotta do the same thing on the other side. I'll get the fuel tank bolted up now. What's up, guys? It's the next day, and today I got a lot done. I didn't film because I feel like I'm just more doing repetitive stuff, and it's like, oh, he's just drilling another hole, oh, he's just mounting a bracket. So I'm just gonna give you an update on everything I did today. I just got back. My neighbor's chimney was almost on fire, and I had to call my fire department to come down, and they took care of it. Everybody was fine, don't worry. But yeah, so this is what we got going on. Fuel tank is mounted, all the brackets are mounted, the front bed frame mounted, slide brackets mounted, everything is good to go. Drive shaft did not fit. Somewhere in either my measurements or the guy who I had built that middle one was off by 2 inches, because this one did not fit. So I got to bring it back to him and see if he can help me out. Still a good guy though. Hopefully he can help me out with this issue. Anyways, got my spacing brackets in. Look at those nice elbows, those alignments that'll align the bed. And I got this one in the rear. That's the last support bracket. Well, bam, there. And that's pretty much all I did today. I mean, it takes time custom fabricating stuff from scratch. So, I mean, it came out awesome. Look at these brackets. So I'm gonna get probably a couple toolboxes here. We'll see. I think the major fabrication though for the bed itself is finished. All of the major stuff is finished. I mean, I probably did, like, I know for sure I got to do like these little caps. That's not structural or major. It's just more of like, it's just more like cleaning it up. So, you know, now it's just getting everything apart, welding everything, and then painting it all. And that's going to be a whole nother endeavor. But remember, guys, I appreciate you. Tell your friends about this build. I'm hoping to travel all around in July with this thing. We're going to be maybe be towing the camper with it. Just yet, we don't have a trip planned yet. But tell your friends about this channel. I love you guys. and I'll see you at the next one.